Welcome to part 5. We are talking about positive perspectives on the topic suffering. Is there something good in suffering? Yes, when we study the Bible, it is. Let me give you an example. Once I had a candle in my room and I was looking on that candle, and God asked me, where does this candle shine brighter? In the darkness or on the day? And I thought, in the darkness. But in the same moment, I realized I was wrong. The candle is shining in the same way. There's no difference all the time, but only in darkness you see it better. You can see such a candle many kilometers. And I got the point. In that moment, God asked me, you said you want to be a light in the world. Why are you so rebellious when I turn off the lights around you? This made me to think about some things. Yes, we as humans, we only want to come into better circumstances. But what happens when the darkness becomes stronger in our life? When we get problems, or in the daily life, when such small things happens. You drive a car, another one is not driving after the rules. You know, very often our reaction shows that we are not in Christ. Very often in our sufferings, in our difficulties, we prove the fact that there is no godly life in us. What do you fear more? Sin or all the sufferings in the world? When you fear the suffering more than sin, then you are not repented. Then you have not understood what sin really is. How awful, how terrible, how horrible one little sin is. When we would realize how dangerous and terrible one little sin is, then we would fear sin more than all sufferings. A repentant person knows that. A repentant person fears to do any sin, not because he fears punishment. No, because he loves God and he fears God. And he has understood how important one good work is and how dangerous one sin is. It is so important that we are clear at that point and that we accept the situations where we are as the possibilities that God can shine through us. Paul says, Christ in us, that's the hope of the nations. Only Jesus Christ in you can produce this holy life, this perfect life, to behave different like before in the situations. Only when this fruit of the Spirit is in us, we can have the peace and the joy and the love and many other things. The question is it possible for me to be a light in the darkness? It is possible through Jesus Christ. And when I understand the aim of God is not to bring me into better circumstances as fast as possible. He can do that. God can do miracles, that's clear. But more important is the point that you believe that God knows everything and that God is love. You know, when I only expect a miracle in my situation, then I can get hectical and panical, but when I believe God knows best and He's doing the best, there I find peace. And it's so important to have the peace in our circumstances, that we have the peace in our sufferings. When we have that, we can be a light for God. And when we have this peace, we don't produce more troubles, because we are very good in that we add to our sufferings more problems because we behave wrong. It's so important to make the experience of this first miracle in us, that we find peace and that we are a light in our difficulties, and that we leave it to God what He is doing. He can heal, He can help, He can lead us in different situations. Think on the friends of Daniel from fantastic history, when the king said to them, when you don't bow down and worship this statue, I will throw you into burning fire. And they said to the king, our king, it's not necessary for us to answer you on that. God can help us out of this. But even when He is not doing that, we will not bow down and worship that statue. Isn't this fantastic? They leave it to God, but they made the experience of the first miracle. They had this peace. And then the second miracle happened, and they survived into this burning heat. Make sure for you that the first miracle happens in your life, and leave all the other miracles to God. I hope you will follow me tomorrow too. May God bless you.